Friday.
Welcome back to Devotions with Emma and Sammy. Today we are talking about Noah. So we're switching it up, moving on from Adam and Eve. Noah and his ark is probably a story that you have heard many times, but if you haven't, here's a quick rundown. Starts off with Noah. God comes to Noah and he says, look, there's going to be a flood. I need you to build an ark, this giant boat, and I need you to take you and your family and 2 of every kind of animal, and I need you to get on this ark. It's going to rain for a long time, and you're going to ride out this flood on this ark. And we'll get into more of why this happened, what did it look like, what were the effects. But that's a quick rundown of Noah's story. So we're going to start with the theme and main idea and verses from Emma.
Okay, so as you guys know, the last couple devotions, our theme has been our beginning. Now our theme is a new beginning as we begin talking about Noah, and our main idea is second chances. So our verse is from Genesis chapter 9, verses 12 through 15. Then God said, I'm giving you a sign of my covenant with you and all living creatures for all generations to come. I have placed my rainbow in the clouds. It is a sign of my covenant with you and with all of the earth. When I send clouds over the earth, and the rainbow will appear in the clouds, and I will remember my covenant with you and with all living creatures. Never again will the floodwaters destroy all life. And that's pretty cool that we're talking about a rainbow in our verse, because today is also National Rainbow Day. So very, very appropriate.
Yes, thank you, Emma. So this story is super interesting, and it's kind of a lot to understand, but we gave the rundown in the beginning of Noah and his story, but it's kind of easy to ask, like, why did this happen? Why did the Lord feel the need to flood the entire earth? So the last few days we've been talking about Adam and Eve, and we know that God created this perfect garden. He created Adam and Eve, and he said, live in this perfection. Just don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. They made the choice to eat from that tree. So now we're seeing the effects of sin in the world. Like we've talked about, it hurt the relationship between Adam and Eve, and it hurt the relationship between Adam and Eve and God. And he had a plan from the beginning. He didn't scrap everything. He didn't say, I don't want this anymore, I'm going to create something else. He said, okay, this is my plan. So that's where we arrive with the story. He's continuing his plan. So let's think about it like this. You start an art project. Maybe you're in art class. Maybe you are at home. Let's say you're painting. You have this idea of what you want to paint. Maybe it's a rainbow for National Rainbow Day. Maybe it's flowers like we looked at yesterday, but you have this plan. So you get all your supplies, you lay it out, you take your paintbrush, and you go to put your first put your paint on the paper, and you spill your paint. And you say, oh my gosh, I had a perfect plan for what this artwork was going to be, and now it's all messed up. Now there's paint all over it, and I don't think I can do what I wanted to do with it like this. So you scrap the whole thing. You say, I'm going to keep my plan. I'm going to do the same thing, but I don't want this piece of paper anymore. I'm going to throw that away. But I'm going to keep the stuff that I was using. I'm going to keep my paint and my paintbrush. I'm just going to start again. That's what God was doing with this flood. He said, this is still good, but I would like to start with a new piece of paper. I want to keep my paint. I'd like to keep people and animals and what I've created. And at the end, he says, that's the end of the flood. Here is a rainbow, and this is a sign of my covenant that I'm not going to do that again. That I love you and I have a plan, and we're going to keep moving forward. So our question of the day is that we want you to think about, you're doing your art project, you spill, you start over, you finish it. It's exactly how you wanted it to be. How do you feel? Do you feel proud that it's that way? Do you feel proud of the paint for doing what you wanted it to do? Think about that, and then think about how God feels when his children do that. when his children seek him and love him and try to be more like him? So pause the video and think about that question. All right, welcome back. Thanks for thinking about that question with us. Now we're going to our prayer. This whole thing has been focused on the fact that God has a plan no matter what it looks like is happening. When Adam and Eve sinned, if I was watching that story, I would say, that's the end. That was a mistake. That's going to just cause everything else to go away. But God has a plan. So what we want you to think about today and what we want you to talk to God about is just asking him to show you his plan for today. Maybe his plan for today is for you to call up a friend and say hello. Maybe it's to write a letter to a relative. Just pray that he will show you what his plan is for today. So pause the video and pray about that for a second. All right, welcome back. Thanks for doing that with us, you guys. We are so just happy that you tune into these devotions with us. Over to Emma for our invitation.
Alrighty, so I know we talked about the fact that it's Find a Rainbow Day and how perfect that fits in with the story of Noah, but today is also World Party Day, so we would like to invite you to put on your favorite song and take some time to just dance and jam out to that. You can put on a fancy outfit, or if you're wearing sweats, that's fine too, just whatever gets you in the mood to party and get up and get active. So enjoy doing that. Have a great party, and we'll see you on Monday.
Yes, see you Monday. Have a good weekend.